We've all been on Amazon browsing and seen those filmmaking gadgets popping up everywhere. Some look useful and some look sketchy. So I've put a bunch of them to the test of the last few months. Not just unboxing them, but taking them and using them on actual real world shoots. By the end of this video, you will know which one of these budget tools are secretly incredible and which ones that you should avoid. First up is something that I've been using for a couple of months now. It's definitely on the higher end of its category, but that price is definitely justified. This is the Moforge Magic Arm. No videos or photos do justice to this thing's design and build quality. It is seriously impressive. When you get this thing in hand, it is clear to tell this thing is a step above 99% of magic arms on the market. But it's not just that incredible build and design, this thing is actually functional as well. It supports up to a 5 kg payload and has anti-slip pins on both ends, and these also retract for the times that you do not need them. There's also a dampened locking system, which means you only have to turn the release ever so slightly to adjust its position, and this is a serious time saver when you are mounting accessories like external monitors, because consistently throughout your shoot day you are constantly repositioning them. It is available in 3 different colour options, and since I got mine, they've also added interchangeable end mounts. This includes NATO clamps, a baby pin, a 15mm rod, and a UCN 1/4 inch. This thing easily goes into my highly recommended pile just because the moment that you take it out the box and get it in your hands and appreciate the design and build, all your purchase regrets go away. Next, let's turn our attention to power. I've been using this one for around a year, but they have recently just added something new that makes me want to talk about it. This is the Lion 2-in-1 battery charger. They offer 2 different models, and what they both essentially are is a combination between a power bank and a camera battery charger. These function just how AirPods and wireless microphones now work. You can pop either 1 or 2 batteries inside and they will charge while you are on the go. Inside is a 2400 mAh battery, and they also have a nice little LCD screen on the outside to give you all the information like power remaining in the device itself and also the status of charging the batteries inside. A nice little bonus tip here is when you are traveling and you take this device with you, you can leave your camera charger at home, as this thing double functions as one of those by just plugging in a USB-C power source when batteries are inside. Now the difference between the 2 different models are the more expensive one takes 2 batteries and also has a USB-C out power for charging other accessories or even a mobile phone, etc. Where the more affordable one takes 1 singular batteries, and that saves space. They have introduced SD card storage. Now here's a new thing that I wanted to mention. Initially they launched this product working with only Sony batteries, and I know a lot of people watch this channel use Lumix cameras. But now the good news is we see a new addition of a Lumix battery and a Canon battery option. And what's even cooler is when you purchase this device, you get included the smart Lumix batteries. Now these are batteries that work with pretty much all the latest Lumix cameras, but also have a USB-C input, so when you are in a pinch you can just plug in your phone charger to juice the battery directly, and also have a power indication on the battery itself, allowing you to see how much power is left without placing it inside your camera. Again, this one is a super easy recommendation for anyone using one of the camera types that these devices work with. This is a game changer for getting rid of that battery anxiety. Right, okay, this next one is a bit of a more niche product, but if you are someone who's going to need and use this, it's going to be a massive time saver. You may have seen the lighting manufacturers like Aperture and Nanlux showing off their super impressive motorized yokes. The problem is here, one of those super cool products will set you back around $2,000 or $3,000. So then the question is there a way to achieve this functionality at a much more affordable cost? And the answer is yes, there is. This is the Falcom Move Light Go. It essentially turns any Vmount lighting fixture into a motorized head. This is extremely affordable compared to those other options we just mentioned. You can control this thing wirelessly through an optional remote, which honestly I think is definitely worth picking up, or you can just use the app on your mobile phone or iPad. Now the trickiest part for this to work is powering both your lighting fixture and the motorized head itself. Falcom have done a really good job here. They give you these splitters, meaning you only need one power outlet to power both. Just make sure that you order the right one to work with your lighting fixture. You can check their website to figure that out. But even with this one singular power outlet and the Y splitter, it can still get a little bit messy with all the wires dangling down. It's not a big deal, but it's definitely worth keeping in mind. But if you are someone who runs, say, a small studio and has a little truss where you rig lights up into the ceiling, then you know climbing up and down the ladders just to change its direction is a massive time waster. Can you imagine week by week how much time this would save? I wouldn't recommend this one for everyone. If you are someone who's run and gun and don't use much lighting, then it's probably not for you. But if you're someone who sets up lighting and rigs them high up, or runs a small studio, likes to tweak lighting while you're looking at your monitor and change the directions to see what looks better, then this is a massive time saver. Back to power for a second, and while this one is not really reinventing the wheel, it has something about it that I get asked about on social media all the time, so I thought I would include it. This is the newer Mini Vmount battery, and honestly I love this battery simply because of its colour. When I first saw this battery, it kind of dawned on me that most battery designs are kind of boring. They all look really industrial and they come in black, and even when they're pushing the boat out and being adventurous, we get dark grey. And when I first saw this one and it just being bright orange, I just think there's a real gap for making battery design interesting. They also do this one in a navy green, what looks pretty cool, and I just think it adds a whole new exciting life when building your camera rigs. Don't worry though, it's not just a pretty design. This thing is really functional and probably the best bang for buck Vmount battery on the market right now. You get a USB-C with 65 watt power delivery, you get a USB-A, you get a D-tap, you even get 8 volt and 12 volt DC output, and all that in a compact, small and lightweight battery. But again, the reason I'm shouting this one out is simply because of its bright colour. I think the more of us that buy these interesting looking batteries, hopefully that sends a message to the other manufacturers that we want more interesting batteries, more colours, more patterns, just more everything so we can build more unique rigs. Let me be honest about this next one. I'm definitely guilty of prejudging it. I seen this style of product online, as most of us will have, and then I don't know, I was just not quite sure whether it was actually useful. Probably going to butcher the pronunciation of this one, but I believe this is the Colbo or Colber CF5, and it is a handheld Haze machine that takes a concept and totally refines it. First up, the design is totally different to all the other handheld Haze machines out there, as a tube-like long shape, and with a click of a button on the side, it bends into an angle that I will touch on this in a sec, as it's actually quite smart. It feels really premium in the hand and has this cool magnetic system where you can just pull off and pop on different ends that change the direction and speed of how the haze comes out of the device. And something really cool is one of those magnetic ends has a built-in fan, and it is also a powered fan, so it picks up power from the device through this magnetic system. That is a really cool design. You can change the speed of the fan, the density of the haze, the power of the whole device itself. There's plenty of options that you control on this little LCD screen. There is a 1/4-20 mounting point on the bottom, which will allow you to mount it to a light stand or in the ceiling to a truss, or just pretty much use a clamp to put this anywhere. Which brings us back to why you push the button to turn this thing to an angle. Because when you're on a C-stand or mounted to the ceiling, you don't want the direction to come out straight, so this device is really well thought through. As I mentioned, I was just really guilty of prejudging this whole category and thinking that I would not find it useful, but when I got one and started using it, it actually adds a really great kind of different image to shots when you need it, especially under controlled lighting. If you're someone who does controlled lighting, definitely pick one of these up, as it's a super cheap way to add some production value to your shot. I believe this next one may be the cheapest item in this entire video, and funny enough, I use it for a purpose that is totally not intended to be used for. This is the Freewell Vlog Pod 3K. Now this is intentionally built to be a really cool travel miniature flexi leg tripod, and it absolutely is. It is amazing at being that. But that's not what I've been using it for. I actually find myself grabbing it as a kind of rigging / mounting solution when I'm in a rush or in a pinch, or really just want to get it done fast. I mount lights, microphones, all sorts of different accessories. The flexi leg system allows you to wrap around pretty much anything or any shape, and with its 3 kg payload, this can easily hold more small lights and microphones, and sometimes even multiple accessories. And of course, you can use it for its intended purpose, and it will take most mirrorless cameras with a lighter lens on, and it also has a built-in mobile phone option, which doubles up great if you're kind of shooting by yourself and need to capture some BTS. That's something I use it for a lot. It also has mounting points all over the legs. It has 2 cold shoe mounts on the head. This thing is just extremely versatile for mounting any accessories or any small camera setup in awkward places. And if you're wondering what my favorite tiny light is to pair with this, watch this video here.